Hi, everybody, and welcome into tonight's post game. Tonight, Brendan is joining me along with talking about the Red Sox and the Bruins as it was Loserville, USA for us here in Boston. Before we welcome Brendan in, there are a couple changes that we have here on our breakdowns of the game. Number one, we have a scroller at the bottom that shows where you can follow us and get more information about all things that we have for takes and following us for sports. For Face of Facts 15, that's myself, and then Brendan over there for Bay State Sports. We also have a little bit of some music to kind of get us through this, to add a little bit of excitement and everything, too. Brendan, welcome in. I'm not happy tonight. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, Nick, not a great showing tonight from your teams. Bruins, of course, get absolutely mollywopped down in Sunnyside, and then the
What's your
Boston,
vocabulary word of the night tonight, folks?
nice mollywopping, and then the Boston Red Sox struggle big time against Chris Sale, who gives you 6 scoreless with 10 Ks. Chris
I could
Sale,
have told you that was going to happen last night. I could have told you that. I want
yeah,
to go to the Bruins first, and then we'll get to the Red. No, actually, I want to go to the Red Sox first. I want to talk about the Bruins last because that one makes me more mad. Red Sox, they had a terrible road trip. Terrible. They could not muster anything against the Braves. Old friend Chris Sale up against the Red Sox for the first time. Many of the hitters on the team, it was their first time ever facing Chris Sale, and he dominated. He made the Red Sox look like imbeciles tonight up there at the plate. They had no business whatsoever even being in the box against him. It looked like Chris Sale of old for the most part when he was healthy with the Red Sox. This team couldn't even get any runners in scoring position once again. The offense is a mess right now. Alex Cora was trying to tinker with a few things with moving Connor Wong up. He dropped Wilyer Abreu down. He's putting Rafi Devers in the cleanup spot. Brendan, we were singing a decent tune in April for the Red Sox to be surprised and everything. But right now, they are coming back to earth on what the expectation was for them for entering this season. Just my opinion. What's yours?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reality is you're playing some halfway decent teams in the MLB. The Atlanta Braves are always in contention for the World Series. The Minnesota Twins run the AL Central. It goes through them every single year. The Red Sox play.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I was just thinking about it. Yeah, that's true.
Every regular season, they are a dominant force, and the Red Sox ran into a couple of halfway decent teams. No scrums right now, and they got their pants pulled down. They look terrible. The Red Sox, the pitching was not good today from Nick Pivetta. It's his first start back in a while, but he gave up a lot of runs. Not great. And then the offense has been suspect. Oh, they faced some good pitchers down in Minnesota. And then, of course, Chris Sale gives you his revenge tour. I mean, he's done this in Boston his last year. It's just about consistency, staying healthy when it comes to him. But he has the ceiling whenever he's healthy.
Yeah, I had this one kind of circled on the calendar that just said expect Chris Sale to dominate this Red Sox team.
Yeah.
Do you change anything with the Red Sox right now? Do they need some sort of a coaching decision, or do they need some sort of tinkering with getting somebody back up again from Worcester? What would you do?
Well, they ran out Romy Gonzalez today at short, which was an interesting call. Romy can hit it better than Raffaella. Raffaella is, he's a consistent defender.
Yep.
I don't know if there's many moves that are there for them. Like, they already went for they brought up Boozer, they traded for Short, they brought in the first baseman.
I will say Emmanuel Valdez is raking it in Worcester right now. He's had 5 home runs in his past 3-4 days. Just nuts to see that.
That's
and Bobby Worcester. Bobby Worcester is cranking them out there again too. Of course, right? Of course.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Valdez maybe potentially as a spark if the offense continues to struggle. I imagine, though, that in the next series, on their next homestand, those bats can really start to turn it around.
Yeah, the next series will be against the Nationals, and that's back at Fenway Park. That's Friday night. So the Sox have a day off tomorrow. Thank God. Now we can go to the Bruins. It started out okay.
Yeah,
I was happy. That first period, in fairness to the to all fans out there, it should have been 3-0. There was a couple shots that were just pucks that just not go in the net. One of which was from Brad Marchand, missed a completely open net, and Justin Bergier very early in the game again missed an opening. Could have very well been 3-0 at the end of the first period. So they missed 2 opportunities there, but they did get one at least from Charlie Coyle, did pop it in to give a little bit of comfort to the fan base and everything, thinking that the Bruins may well pull this game 2 off and go back to Boston up 2-0. Didn't happen. The second period, Florida came out with the vengeance, but again, stupidity also led to some of these plays here too. There was some tricky deflections that made the puck go in. In my eyes, Brendan, I can't blame Jeremy Swayman for much of these moves here. The biggest problem player on the Bruins tonight was Charlie McAvoy. And right now, before Brendan even speaks, I am calling Charlie McAvoy out. We keep getting preached and told time and time again. He's the number 1 defenseman. He's the number 1 guy. Believe in Chuck. Well, you know what? Chuck sucked tonight. Sucked. And that better change his tune when they return back home to the Garden. Because tonight's play, granted he had some sort of thing happen with his face. I hope he's okay and there wasn't any concussion from that. But if he's clear and everything like that, that was one of the worst games I have ever seen Charlie McAvoy play as a professional hockey player in the NHL. Disgusting and shameful. Over to you, Brendan.
No, McAvoy has crapped his pants for the last 2 weeks. I'm telling you, the whole implosion against the Toronto Maple Leafs, that was McAvoy leading the charge. Like, he is supposed to be one of the biggest leaders, the captain of the defense, the biggest voice, one of the biggest voices behind Brad Marchand in that locker room. And you can tell he is so tight. He is overthinking every second on the ice. And it's brutal. He's just falling asleep right in front of the net, just overthinking everything. And pucks are ricocheting right off his legs, going right in the net. And it's driving me up a wall. So
it's the same here.
And he's making almost the most money on the team, and he is the biggest underperformer that I've seen in a while. This guy, if they're going to do anything, he needs to figure it out. Jeremy Swayman bailed his blank, almost Gus, out of a big blow up in Game 7. Jeremy Swayman kept them in there. You're asking him to do Tim Thomas level stuff with Charlie McAvoy in front of him. It's been brutal. McAvoy needs to figure it out. He's a top 3 paid player on that team. He needs to get it right. He needs to get it right fast.
I actually give Coach Jim Montgomery credit for actually pulling Swayman. This was not for a performance pull. I want to make sure that's crystal clear. Yes, it was 4-1 when the pull and everything happened to get Ullmark in the game. But you need to also make sure if Swayman is going to be your guy for Game 3, what business does he have being out there when you basically aren't even showing up to play in the third period? Let Ullmark get out there, figure it out. He's rusty and basically played in 2 weeks. So give him the opportunity to get out there, get into the series, see if anything could happen. 2 goals also went in. So it is what it is on that front. Do you go back to Jeremy Swayman for Game 3, which will be Friday night?
I think it's closer than a lot of people realize. Ullmark had a really good record against Florida, 3-0, and he looked like he had their number. That was the original reason why Swayman got hot in the Toronto series, was he owned that matchup. So I think it's closer than a lot of people think. I don't know where I lean yet. You'd have to ask me tomorrow on who I would pick. It's not even up to me. It's not up to. I don't think it's up to the coach. It's goalie Bob and the owners that are going to decide who's going to be in net for them in the next game.
I think I'd also echo the same kind of statement that you said here. I'm not going to be mad if Ullmark finds his way in for game 3. I'm not going to be obviously mad if Swayman's there. It comes down to your defense from tonight here. You need to see a vastly improved defensive core protecting whoever is between the pipes right there and not have what you just had tonight. You got your bacon handed to you tonight, basically, from second, third period on. You did. Especially after a great game 1.
Yeah.
Adrenaline was pumping. Everything was just going their way. You have a pivotal game 3 now.
Oh, yeah.
Could be a series deciding game 3 on where this is heading and everything. So you need to put your pedal to the metal, come out blazing on Friday night at the Garden, show the fans that you can win again in your home rink at the Garden, and get the job done.
Definitely. Mason Lowry.
Yep, go ahead.
Mason Lowry's been phenomenal. He needs more minutes on the ice.
Yes, he does.
Matt needs to figure it out and keep Grizzly off the ring. Thank you.
I like that to finish off. Keep Grizz off the ice. I like it. All right. Tomorrow is the Celtics for game 2. They will be at the Garden. And then again, Friday, we'll get back into the action with the Bruins and everything here. I want to thank Brendan for joining us here. Again, you can follow us on Twitter. You can also watch our videos here on Bay State. I want to make sure I say it right. Bay State Sports Podcast on YouTube, with Active Ed Online. You can watch and subscribe on YouTube to watch these. Obviously, we have our Facebook audience that is here, that is watching as well. And we'll be sharing these on Instagram and all over the place because we want you to watch us. So, because we're the experts.
Platform.
Have a good night, everybody. We will see you all soon. Thanks again.